Morning, everyone. Yesterday, Justin Trudeau tweeted this out. He says, quote, "We'll plant 2 billion trees over the next 10 years. That's it. That's the tweet." End quote. Okay, I don't like that tweet, and I don't like it for a few reasons. One, it sounds like he's ordering, when he says that's it, that's the tweet, it sounds like he's ordering some intern or somebody to, type it up on the phone that has the Twitter on it, right? So that seems awkward to me. And I don't like when political parties make promises that span 2.5 more terms. It seems weird. Like, over the next 10 years, we're going to turn everything around. And I mean, you can't plan your household for 10 years, right? And presumably, where you're going to be in the next 10 years, probably, right? The next decade. Could you plan for the next decade, last decade? Could you do 31-year-old you at 21? No? Oh, well, here we go, right? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to plan that way. And that's not how our government works. That's not how politics works. I mean, anybody with a 10-year plan can tell you it's been stymied a few times, right? By changes of government and political scandal. Oh, political scandal. Yes, we've heard of those, right? So it seems weird to plan something for 2.5 more terms. You're not that popular, Mr. Trudeau, despite your 60,000 likes. And the last thing is 2 billion trees. Now, I did some reading on this, and it seems that the federal government doesn't actually have a lot of ownership of forests. So where are they going to put these trees? They don't have the land for it because, well, the provinces are in charge of the forests. And Trudeau knows this, and I'll show you that he knows this. But first, here's the Government of Canada's Natural Resources Canada website. Link is in the description. You can check it out for yourself. And it says Canada's Forest Laws, how governance and enforcement protects Canada's forests. And I'll scroll down here. It says provinces and territories lead forest governance. And Canada's provinces and territories have jurisdiction over the vast majority of the country's forests and develop and enforce laws, regulations, and policies related to forests. Those laws, regulations, and policies differ from one jurisdiction to another, but they are all based on sustainable forest management principles, developed in consultation with the public, industries, and other interested parties, grounded in scientific research and analysis. Learn more at Forest Land Ownership in Canada. And let's go to that link because it's got a handy graph. Here it is. Link's in the description. And it says overview of forest land ownership in Canada. And see this 90% cyan blue color? Yeah, it says public land owned by provinces and territories. So if the federal government wants to put trees, either they're going to work with the provinces and just pump money into these programs, which is going to inflate these programs, and these programs are already running. And, well, they did this once already, and this is why I know that Justin Trudeau knows this. Here's the star to set up this story, and the next one will explain the rest. The Star reporting on April 25th, Ontario cancels program aimed to plant 50 million trees. Ontario is canceling a tree planting program, with those involved warning that the move will lead to the loss of jobs and environmental benefits that forests provide. And the important part here is those involved are telling you this, right? Like, there's a bit of a conflict of interest there. And of course, newspapers are going to contact those involved, but when they have dire warnings for you, well, take it with a grain of salt. I scroll down, it says, quote, the program's annual budget was about $4.7 million, Keane said, and Forests Ontario was told it was being canceled as a way to cut provincial costs. Premier Doug Ford wants to reduce the deficit, and this was ... something that they thought was expendable. Scroll down again. Justine Lukowitz said in a statement that the forest industry, which depends on a sustainable supply of wood, is a responsible steward of the province's forests. On average, the forestry industry plants 68 million trees per year, creating jobs for forests, nurseries, and tree planters, she wrote. Now, a cynical person would say that Justin Trudeau is going to fulfill this promise by saying, see, we're paying, or maybe he'll give some money to this industry and say, see, we're paying for 68 million trees per year across Ontario and Alberta and BC and Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Quebec, et cetera, and there's your 2 million trees. They were already doing it, just like they did for the Pensions for Life program, right? We're going to restore Pensions for Life. And what they did is create a new program that was using all the programs that are currently available, patchwork together, saying, see, here's your program. We spent no money. Yay. Free, right? And 60,000 likes. Here's the June 5th City News article that says Ottawa pledges to spend $15 million to restore Ontario's tree planting program. Didn't they just say it was $4.7 million? $4.7 million. And Ottawa spending $15 million. Okay, does that make? It doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. Here's the article. It says the $420 million fund was announced last year as a way to bypass the province and give money directly to institutions after Ontario canceled the cap and trade system and various green programs that were funded by it. So this government knows the jurisdiction. It understands who's in charge. It understands the ownership, and it doesn't care. And I don't even think that they will actually do this in a way that will increase the trees by 2 billion. I think they'll just have a public awareness campaign about the amount of trees that the forestry industry already plants. And it's a good PR move for Justin Trudeau because look at those likes. So I think this is disingenuous. I'd be interested to see what he has to say with regards to the stewardship and the ownership of the land, and with regard to how many trees are already planted by the industry anyway. Is that the plan? Or are we going to do something different than we did for veterans, Mr. Trudeau? Seriously, this is just PR, and it's very, very interesting because it's taking up the green space. The other day, and I missed it, and I realized now it was because of the climate strike, but the Liberals had a green, like the Liberal Party had a green Liberal Party logo, and I thought, my goodness, are the Greens upset like that? They're like Liberals are taking their branding? And I didn't get a screenshot of it. I should have, but I didn't. But it seems campaigning is this calculated? It seems that's what this is. So, wow, right? So 2 billion trees. Hit that like button and don't check who actually has the ownership and who actually has the responsibility for managing this. And don't check and see if it's managed responsibly and in a scientific way and done well. It is done well. The forests in Canada are national treasures, right? And we protect them because everyone has a vested interest in protecting them. Okay, that's enough for me this morning. Thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And don't forget to vote on October 21st. That's it. Thanks.